Chris Brackett's in the studio, South Tahoe stand-up paddle. How you doing, man?
Good. Good morning.
You seem a little high from last weekend.
Oh yeah, you know, that was amazing. The event, Race Lake of the Sky, came off without a hitch. So many happy people. People from all over the country, Florida, Utah, Hawaii, Southern California, and they were so stoked. The best athletes in the world said, Danny Ching and Candace Appleby, all these other elite riders, they just said it's the best event they've ever been to.
And they go to a lot of events around. Like, where are the other
around
events?
The world.
Where else do they do these events? Like, what's another popular one?
Let's see. Up and down the coast of California, you've got
on the coast,
events,
on the ocean.
Yeah, you've got events in Hawaii. You've got events here around the lake in the summertime. You've got stuff in Florida, New York City, all over. And they've been everywhere, and they were so stoked. They're like, we're bringing everyone in for us.
It's so good to hear,
year.
and it's so good just to see all the people. Do we know how many people it brought to town? Do we have an estimate, an idea?
I think we had like 350 competitors.
350 competitors. So
you got families and
friends.
Right,
exactly. But that's a starting point. 350 people coming to compete in the event. Good job, man. It's great.
Thanks.
And we just pulled up the camera from the El Dorado Beach. This is the location for your spot. Who's out there on the beach? You must recognize these people.
Let's see. We got a couple demos going on right now.
Is that what's going on there?
And people out paddling. Look at the water. It's just beautiful. What a beautiful day.
This is great. So folks, if you're here in town, like this is what's cool. Now we got the camera we can show you. Right there on Highway 50, when you come through town by Sprouts, by Rude Brothers, by your operation, that's the El Dorado Beach, Lakeview Commons they call it. So it's an easy place to find and spot when you're driving in the car. It's where the Highway 50 comes and you see the lake.
Yeah.
How's the parking down there? I haven't had to really deal with that.
It's really good. You know, there's two parking lots. There's the one that's close to the boat ramp. There's one across the street. And then there's
one across Highway 50 then, is that right?
No, across Harrison on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also parking in the neighborhood. It gets packed, you know.
It gets packed, but it works. There's enough parking, and
yeah.
And then we got the concerts going on down there Thursday night.
Yeah.
I mean, people can go out paddling and listen to music at the same time. I mean, this is it's so good. I mean, aren't you proud, like South Lake Tahoe resident, to kind of see what's going on down there? And
that park is such a big deal. It's a huge improvement, and I mean, you know, the El Dorado Beach thing. Like the beach is the beach, right? But the Commons thing is starting to make sense to me because it's bringing people up top, and it makes sense. Yeah. It's cool to see the community come together.
That's really funny to hear you say, because I'm kind of with you on that too. You and I kind of said, no, it's El Dorado Beach. And it is, the beach is there, but when you go, if you haven't been there and you see it, there's like a tiered amphitheater, and then that's what you see from Highway 50. That's the Commons area.
Full stadium, yeah, that's the spot.
How often do they set up the beer garden? Because that's a nice feature, and it's cool that we're able to do that. You know, people hopefully are going to act responsibly, and it works, you know?
Yeah, that's on Thursday night. Rob Justine is doing his Lakeview, Live at Lakeview, and he's got that going on once a week.
And the ice cream thing is there all the time?
Yeah, they're calling that the Lakeview Cafe. That was the Freebird Boys, but they renamed it Lakeview Cafe. They're doing great. They got good ice
I try
cream.
to figure out what the name is on this new location.
Well, we've all been scrambling to get up and running, and here we are midsummer. I actually got my sandals on. That's a big deal. You know, I took my pants off and got
Took your pants off? What?
What? Got the swim trunks on.
Got the swim. Thank you. Glad I'm asked. Got his swim trunks on is the point there. So renting boards. That's another thing that really makes it nice too, because I know there's a couple other places in town where they rent boards. It's hard. You get the big old board. You got to say you rented a car to come to Lake Tahoe. How do you get it from that location down to the water? You are right on the water. You go, here, I'll put the board in the water for you and help you stand up on it and go.
Yeah, we bring the board right to the water. We've got a mini lesson that gets you balanced on the board and kind of paddling in the right direction.
How long does a mini lesson take?
About 5 minutes on the beach. It's short and sweet.
Here's the paddle, here's the board.
Yeah, it really does help though. There's a few tips that are key that help people out. And
look, there's a mini lesson going on with those 3 people right there, huh? Look.
Yeah.
And then the guy out there right now just had the mini lesson. Look at him go. Look at him.
Awesome.
He looks as good at doing it as anybody I've ever seen.
What's on the front of that board? Is that a puppy dog or a little guy?
Yeah, good point. You know, and that's we were out yesterday. It's blowing me away that you drive around this town, especially last weekend with the event. But who would have ever thought 5 years ago that you'd see surfboards all over this town, sticking out of the back of my truck, on the top of your truck, on the beach, everywhere you go?
Yeah, stand-up, it's a form of surfing. The blending of outrigger canoe paddling and surfing. And my buddy Ronnie Goralski's like, I just don't get it. What's all these guys with surfboards on top of their cars, you know? But it gets us out on the water.
You don't get it till you get it. I mean, you just got to go out and do it. And, I mean, it's something to do. I find, for me personally, I know you guys are psyched and, crazy for it. I just think for going to the beach, now I got something to do at the beach. It's so much better, dude. Like with the family, we're all down there.
Absolutely. My wife for years would be like, why don't you like going to the beach with us? I'm like, there's nothing to do. I can't just stand there and sit there.
I know.
And then last year she's like, I just don't get it. You always want to be at the beach and you're in the water and you're doing this.
Isn't that how it goes? Isn't that how marriage? That's like when I got married. My wife said, oh, he's so funny and so adventurous. Now she's like, he's always joking and he's never home. No? Yeah. And that's the nice thing too, is having a board at the beach. You go out for however long, you come back. So, hey, can I take your board out? Like, you don't worry about the thing getting broken. It isn't like taking a downhill mountain bike out or a climbing rope that you're like, God, if something happens to that, you're counting your life on it. Like, sure, take my board.
Yeah, go have fun. Unless it's like super high performance, then no one touches your board.
Is that the fact? Is that a case?
Yeah, like you got your baby. It's real fragile, super fast.
I've heard that. The real fast ones are like what? They're just lighter weight and they're just real delicate.
Yep, glass real light, takes the weight off, and
There's not as thick a fiberglass on it, so just a ding then.
Exactly, and then water comes and
then water gets inside
down.
of it and then ruins the surfboard.
It can.
It can.
Yeah, if you keep it.
So you got to be super careful. You got to put it in one of those
your baby. You
surfboard condoms or whatever they are, like the big padded things.
The board bag. Yeah.
Board bag. Excuse me. I don't know all the technical terminology. I think you knew what I meant, though.
Yeah,
didn't you?
Absolutely.
So you're down there today, of course. Now you're there every single day till it snows.
Dawn to dark, it's just how it is, and we're glad to be there, and we're there to serve. We want to help people have a good time and get out on the water.
You and your families, I mean, eight kids.
9.
No, excuse me,
9.
My you can imagine my embarrassment.
Yeah.
9 kids. The wife working down there, or is she just
trying
to cook
down
meals
there.
to keep the army fed?
She just took out a bunch of her friends. They went for a morning paddle, and little baby Jack, Janessa's down there. She's got him. He's the little helper in the booth. He's 1.
He's the youngest one.
Yeah,
and your oldest?
He's 20.
20.
5 boys, 4 girls. God. When we had 4 boys, 4 girls, it was tied up 4-4, and people would say, "Is 8 is enough?" I'm like, nah, we're going for a baseball team, tied up 4-4, and then we had a little boy tiebreaker. And it was 5 boys, 4 girls, and I said to someone, boys rule and girls drool, and they're like, nope, sorry, girls rule, boys drool.
No, I think we know that, yeah. Around the house. I know who runs the house.
Yeah.
At your house.
Yeah, well, I'm the head, but my wife's the neck.
Yeah.
She turns it.
Real quick, how much to rent a board?
Oh, it's $20. Only $20.
Oh, man.
The mini lesson is only $15.
That's cheaper than the other places I now understand.
And the second hour is only $15. You're right on the water. It's just a good way, affordable way to get out there.
Right there, folks. I mean, this is for the longest time in this town. Unfortunately, people would come to visit, and it sounds ridiculous, but if it's your first time here, they say, where the hell is the beach? They couldn't find it. Now it's easy.
Yeah.
Lake Commons.
El Dorado Beach.
Lakeview
Beach. Commons, it's El Dorado Beach.
Chris Brackett. Hey, great job with last week's event. Thanks for coming in this morning. There you go, Chris Brackett, South Tahoe stand-up paddle. Go down there, rent a board, and get out just for a few hours.
Tahoe Outdoor Living Nursery. We're located at the Y in South Lake Tahoe on Highway 80.